Okay, so I'm going to try and carry on my miniature walking tour of Dublin now that I have battery and some memory bank. But we are just here outside the Halfpenny Bridge. This is the well, I think it's world famous Halfpenny Bridge. Now, as far as I know, you used to have to pay a half a penny to cross the bridge, as it was one of the first built in Dublin, and that's where it gets its name from. And up that direction you have O'Connell Bridge and the Customs House. And then we're going to take a walk across the bridge to Temple Bar. So it's another busy sunny day in Dublin. So this is just the view from across there looking over the river. Now there's occasionally pickpockets on this bridge, so it's important to be a little bit careful with your bags when you're crossing it. But for the most part, it's not very, very common in Dublin. It's really busy. Go across. And this is going to be entering one of the most expensive parts of Dublin. Outside the houses, Temple Bar is probably the most expensive place in Dublin. Through the arches. Now, I only know a couple of bits and pieces about Temple Bar. One of the main things is that Temple Bar is actually an area. It's an area and also the name of one pub. We'll swing it to the left here. It's always very busy, so the Old Dubliner is very popular. It's just a plaque about improving Temple Bar because it used to be very run down. Supposedly in the 70s it was very much a dump. Now, some people might say that still is, but it's far better than it was. Where am I going? Ah, yeah, just up here. Here's some of the activities. That's Oliver O'Grady, so that's very popular. I'm assuming there's a football match on. Either that or they're just very happy to be in Dublin. And they're the famous horse and buggies that you can take if you like in Dublin, but very expensive. All like most stuff, but you don't really need to get it unless you really want to flash. Unless you really want to flash your money, there's not much point. But just here, this building extra I want to show. So, if you know a bit about Irish history, you'll know Kevin Barry, and that plaque just there marks his home place, so it's just above this building, House of Names and Family. So if you're American or you have Irish ancestry, you can go to this place and it'll tell you about your family history, and you can get like cards and plaques made. But that is where Kevin Barry was born. So this is Fleet Street within Temple Bar. I'll just keep showing you the activity, so I'm not just talking over. you take down this way, oh, it's a very artsy street. I was going to walk down there, but few people are few people are enjoying their heroin, so I will not go down there on the camera. I'll look back up, back into Temple Bar. So that's called Bedford Lane. There's like arts murals and musical murals, but it's. I tried to walk down there yesterday. It was the same. Like you can walk down, but just people shooting up or selling drugs or buying drugs. So, and that is almost all the time. So do not go down this roadway at night. There's nothing down there, so there's no point. But then you're back into Temple Bar. Rory's Fish and Tackle, that's kind of famous in Dublin. Also, I'd always see it pop up, but I don't know why, so I can't tell you why. It's just a fishing shop. So if you like your fishing gear, that's where to go. And then popular bars, Badass, and the Storehouse. And then this is the Temple Bar Market. So it'll be like craft fair, handmade jewellery, pictures, some fruits, like perfumes and stuff. Nice and busy. I'm just going to make my way down here so you can see the world famous Temple Bar, wherever gets their Instagram pictures. See you there, that's the outside. Also probably the most expensive pub bar in Ireland, or one of the most. I think I was there at Christmas, it was €10.50 a pint. So you don't have to. There you go, Temple Bar pub. So that's it. Get out of here now. I've been here too many times. I don't really care for a picture. Oh yeah, that's where you go for your Instagram pictures. And then away from in Temple Bar, but away from a little bit, are obviously more pubs, but then there are a couple of not nightclubs, but like venues. That's the Wall of Sound. That has a rock and roll museum inside. The Crowbar, it's called, or centre point for like the club nights. Well, the likes of Bono, U2. But in fact, there's always a couple of different names depending on what's on. The Rock and Roll Museum's there. I'm looking for one more street. I don't want to get lost. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, that's right. There's a loop. Point. The Rock and Roll Museum. By Sinead O'Connor, Bono, Christy Moore. That's the Rock and Roll Museum. And then, is it here? I think it's here. But this, just to add a little bit of history, behind the door was the headquarters of Michael Collins' intelligence unit during the War of Independence. So this is where the likes of Charlie Dalton and some of the squad would have come to share information and plan attacks. So behind that great door, it's number 3 Cross Street. There's nothing. It's a really cool door. I think it's a door anyway. But there's nothing to commemorate what it was. And that will, and we're coming out of Temple Bar. That's the Foggy Jew pub. But Temple Bar is just lots of pubs, obviously. We'll come out onto, I don't remember the name of the street. This will lead you up and finish out at. So yeah, that was it. Just finishing, coming out of Temple Bar, and then no, thank you. Oh, he's handing me a hand drawn, and we'll just finish up. This is the famous gay spar. So if you want food late at night, that's where you go.